If you didn't know, fishing is one of the best ways to get loot and levels early in your Minecraft game. But what is the best enchantments to put on your fishing rod? So here we are inside of Minecraft at a nice little fishing hole. The first tip that I want to give you before I even get into the enchantments is to always make sure that you're fishing with access to sky, because your fishing will be greatly reduced if you do not have access to the sky. So make sure that whatever you're fishing from is not underground or doesn't have a roof. Otherwise, your fishing will be very, very, very much reduced. So I have a few fishing rods here going from worst enchanted to best enchanted. And obviously a normal fishing rod is just fine, especially if you're starting off. And if you have a lot of time to kill, you can actually fish up better rods as you progress. So that's normally what I do. Is in the beginning, I set up an AFK fisher and I just let it run until you can fish up a few extra rods, use an anvil to combine those, and then get a better rod, and then keep fishing, and blah, 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 and so on and so on. So the first enchantment that I'm going to give you is kind of a gimme, and that is Unbreaking 3. Obviously, you'll want your fishing rod to stick around, so putting Unbreaking on your fishing rod will make sure that it doesn't degrade. You don't get your durability taken down every single time that you fish something up. I feel like that is kind of like an obvious one, but it has to be said if we're going to be talking about the best enchants on a fishing rod. Next is Lure 3. So what Lure does is it decreases the amount of time in between bites that you will catch. So with Lure 3, it is much more reduced between the times that that little trail of bubble comes to the bobber. So you don't have to wait nearly as long between the times that you could reel in something. It could be a fish, could be treasure. All of that is the same with Lure 3. It just reduces the time in between pulls of the fishing rod. The next enchantment is going to be very similar to Lure 3. And by the way, as we move up, all of my fishing rods have the previous enchantments that we talked about. So this fishing rod has Unbreaking 3, Lure 3. And next is Luck of the Sea 3. So as you're fishing, you have the chance for fish, but also other items, as you saw with these leather boots. Those other items fall into the category of treasure or into the category of junk. And Luck of the Sea will allow you to pull more treasure than junk whenever you are fishing, so that you get less, plain old boots and more enchanted books or other enchanted fishing rods and that sort of thing. So with Luck of the Sea, you're going to pull out things from the water that are going to be better than without Luck of the Sea. And the final enchantment that you need, you may have guessed it if you're a Minecraft pro, and that is Mending. So this is really the best fishing rod that you can get in the game, which is Unbreaking 3, Lure 3, Luck of the Sea 3, and Mending. And the reason you like Mending is because every time you get a level, it will mend whatever you are wearing or whatever is in your hand with the Mending enchantment. So if the fishing rod happens to degrade, if it happens to use up a durability point whenever you are fishing, then the levels that you get from fishing, because you do get a level, there you go, you hear that ding, that is because I got a level for actually completing a successful fish. And so that will actually go back into the fishing rod so that you will never break this fishing rod, assuming that you're actually picking up fish. So this is the bow. This is the fishing rod that you are going to want if you are going to set up an AFK fisher, because the Unbreaking will make sure that if you have any mistakes, sometimes it takes a few, times of sending it out before you can finally catch your automatic fisher, your AFK fisher. And then the mending will allow the fishing rod to repair itself as you get levels from your fishing. And so you can see this fishing rod is broken a bit because I was just demonstrating throwing it out onto nothing. And now it's completely repaired after just reeling in one fish. So mending is super duper useful. We can kind of get rid of all of these other fishing rods. This is the one that you want. Now that you know the best enchants to put on your fishing rod, a little bonus is I will teach you now how to make an AFK fish farm. This is an AFK fish farm. This may be one of the most useful things early game, is to be able just to sit here and fish. Pro tip, the water source or the bobber should be able to see the sky. So make sure that you're not building this inside of a cave or inside of a building that doesn't have access to the sky. So this block right here is what I'm talking about. With this setup, you can fish, and the moment that a fish gets onto the bobber, you will reel it in. Make sure that you are pointing your clicker or pointing your crosshairs at the note block. So what happens here is when the iron trapdoor is down, you can throw out your bobber here. So whenever it's down, you'll throw it out. But once you throw it down, it will activate the pressure plate, which will raise it up out of the way, and then you're looking straight at a note block. That note block is actually getting tuned by you. So if you look at your statistics, you'll see it going up, that you're tuning this note block over and over and over and over and over again. And that takes precedent over reeling in your bobber. But the moment that a fish gets attached to the bobber, you'll reel in that fish, which will bring the pressure plate back to normal, which will bring the iron trapdoor back down. Then you'll be able to swing out your bobber once again, and once again you're looking at that note block. So that is how you're able to gather fish. Let's go ahead and build this. Very, very simple. We're gonna need a chest and a hopper to gather the materials. You'll need a oak fence and a little bit of water, and of course that pressure plate, which you saw before. You're also gonna need the iron trap door in this, as well as a note block and some slabs. So let's go ahead and start with our chest. We're just gonna place that down, move to the back, throw a hopper into it. This is where your water source is gonna be. So you're gonna throw your oak fence right there. I'm just gonna add any type of block on either side of this, just like this. And then one in the front. Make sure the one in the front is a transparent block so that you can open up that chest. And so we're just gonna continue that all the way around. Now you're gonna go ahead and waterlog that fence, throw a pressure plate on the top of that, and then an iron trap door over on the other side, and make sure that that trap door is going to open away from you, just like that. Now we're gonna throw our note block, and if you don't want to listen to that thing all day long, throw any type of block on top of it, and then it will not make a sound. And you just need to have a little area for you to stand. So you could, create some stairs if you want, but basically you just need to stand back one block, and now everything is ready for you when it comes to AFK fishing. And the first time that you try this, make sure that your crosshairs are pointed at that note block, like I said before. And you can also extend this this system if you want to incorporate even more of a storage situation. So you can add more storage down here and then add more hoppers pointing into that, and the line will just go down and deposit all of the stuff into the bottom hopper. So if I was, let's say we caught a fishing rod, throw it in there, the hopper picks it up, moves it all the way down to the bottom chest. So there you go. So you have expandable storage as well. There you have it. Those are the best enchants to put on a fishing rod. Hope that you use this in your Minecraft world or server to get lots of loot and fish. Thanks so much for watching this episode of OMG Craft. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a big old thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And also, make sure you subscribe for future videos, tips, tricks, tutorials, and spotlights here on OMG Craft. See you next time. Bye!